All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, last year when TINUBU began visiting stakeholders, notifying them of his intentions to run for the office of the president, many well-meaning Nigerians began to warn him, stressing that he was no longer in the physical and mental states to rule a country as complex as Nigeria, but he remained adamant. Now, after 8 months in office, the man has completely run out of ideas. Not that he had any original ideas at the beginning, but at this point, he has applied the borrowed, the stolen, and improvised ideas, and he is now completely stuck. And this is exactly how the journey of Buhari's failure went. The next stage in this journey now is the delusional stage, for them to begin to see and quote achievements that are not there, non-existent achievements. But before getting to that stage, TINUBU has decided to begin begging people to help him run the government. 2 weeks ago, he called Dangote, Elumelu, Bua, and some other private businessmen and began telling them to give him ideas. And Nigerians began to laugh. They said, these people are private businessmen. They are only after their own profit, just as you, TINUBU, are after yours. Those businessmen know exactly the game TINUBU and Akpabio played with the 2024 budget. So there is no way he can convince them not to seek their own large profits at the expense of Nigerians. And after his meeting with them, things got even worse. Our inflation just hit 31.7% from 29%. And now, TINUBU has decided to meet with governors. He met with state governors and began to appeal to them to help him to fix Nigeria. And Nigerians are like, it is just 8 to 9 months into office and you're already giving up? Is this no longer the builder of Lagos? Before I show you how he said it and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this ridiculous update. First Lady flags off distribution of exercise books nationwide. Senator REMI TINUBU has flagged off the distribution of exercise books across the country, restating the commitment of the administration of TINUBU to education in the country. The exercise books are expected to be distributed to primary school pupils and junior secondary school students across the country. Speaking at the flag-off, Senator TINUBU disclosed that the exercise, which is under the education program of the Renewed Hope Initiative, would give each state of the federation 50,000 exercise books, while Kano and Lagos states would get 100,000 exercise books due to their population. She also noted that the distribution, which will be through state universal education boards, may be an annual event. There is nothing too much to do for our children. We started the distribution in Lagos State, and today, the wife of the Kogi State governor will receive for her state, she said. The First Lady admonished the children present to focus on their studies, noting that the administration of TINUBU would ensure good life for all children. Exercise books is what you are sharing to school children. Can you see how little these people think of Nigerians? After removing subsidy on education and many parents can no longer afford to pay school fees, you are sharing exercise books to children. People can barely afford to feed in Nigeria, and you think they will be impressed by you sharing exercise books to them. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, Africa is really backward. I'm telling you. How can somebody in this capacity come out to do this kind of thing and say she's flagging it off? And this tweet by Mustafa says, no food, no book. Let's eradicate hunger to get energy for reading. We are talking about hunger. And you are doing something as ridiculous as this at this period. And this tweet by Salahuddin says, now exercise book people go chop, abi. Oh. And Oyetunji Williams here say, madness, they worry their family. I'm telling you, these people are not okay in that house. And Bashir Abubakar says, nonsense. This is a work of a local government chairman who they denied autonomy. I'm telling you. You stab us at the back, then you come to appear good in public. And this tweet here says, after creating the problems by reducing the purchasing power of the people as promised, they are now coming to front as providers. Real definition of principalities and power. Yes, that is it. You cause the poverty in the land. Parents can no longer afford things that ordinarily they should be able to afford for their children. And now you are coming to behave like a good person who is providing those things for them. Just imagine. This tweet by Kola Ola says, how much is the cost and how many quantities are they distributing? Just using all means to siphon money. Vanity. That is another angle. If you look at the project, the money that was awarded for the person that supplied those books, you will marvel. This is another avenue to siphon money. What a shame. Now, let us look at how TINUBU appealed to those governors, how he begged them to help him to rebuild Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. Time for politics is over. Help me rebuild Nigeria, TINUBU tells governors. TINUBU has called on governors to set aside political differences and collaborate with his government to build the nation. Mr. TINUBU made the call on Thursday during the breaking of the Ramadan fast with governors at the State House in Abuja. He emphasized the importance of transitioning from politics to governance, noting the need for unity and cooperation among all stakeholders. Since we recognize the need to build our nation together, the time for politics is over. It is now time for governance. We are of the same family and parents living in the same house, but sleeping in different rooms. We must cooperate and spread love among each other, he stressed. Highlighting the significance of the holy month of Ramadan and the Lenten season for Christians, Mr. TINUBU urged Nigerians to use the occasions for reflection, prayers, and charity. He expressed optimism about the future, noting that the challenges are beginning to respond to the solutions being implemented by his administration. I am glad that the headwinds are almost over. The tunnel is not as dark as when we started. It is going to be brighter. We must communicate with each other, stick together, and share joy, Mr. TINUBU said. Now, you remember I told you that the next stage is the delusional stage, where they will begin to quote achievements that don't exist. You heard what he said there. He said the tunnel is no longer as dark as it was when they took over. Meanwhile, everybody in Nigeria knows that things are worse now. Everybody in Nigeria knows that with each passing day, the country is getting worse. But here is he saying that things are getting better, that it's no longer as bad. So this is the delusional stage where they begin to see achievements that every other person is not seeing. The builder of Lagos is now asking governors to put politics aside and build. But you appointed somebody just a few days ago, and when they told you that that person supported Peter Obi during the presidential election, you quickly removed and brought someone else. And when they talk about putting politics aside to face governance, is a very, very wrong concept. In fact, that concept is one of the things that has held Nigeria down to this very point. Because just as Peter Obi will say, politics is the process, and the process through which a person emerges is fundamentally as important as what he does in office. So, politics should not be separated from governance. Both should be done with integrity and regard for the rule of law. And I thought they said he had all the answers, but now we have to beg other people to help us to build Nigeria. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. And this tweet by Son of Ayo says, someone that single-handedly built Lagos is looking for help to build Nigeria 1 year after stealing an election. And this tweet here says, but you alone built Lagos now. Abi, your building material don't finish. Chai! And this tweet by Tonic says, to steal Tiger's drum is very simple, but beating the drum is a Herculean task. TINUBU, they beg for help and ideas. Yakubu assisted you in stealing people's mandate. He must also help you in ruling. Emilokon, you built Lagos and tamed the ocean. You know if you tame the bandits. Chai! And this tweet here says the clown that revoked someone's nomination because she supported Obi, and he's talking about politics is over, ask me. Oh. And this tweet here says, who won't help you build Nigeria? You grab power by all means. You think saying a state you they govern? Now, the major problem here is not even that Nigeria is too complex to govern. It is the political will by the people at the helm of affairs. Do they have the political will? Are they committed? Are they genuine? That is the big question, because when you look at the 2024 budget, it is a budget for the elite. We started saying this even before we heard about the 3.7 trillion naira scandal. 20.1 billion given to only Gbajabiamila in the budget. 2.5 billion given to Akpabio to buy generators for people in his constituency, and several other billions given to him. And then you turn around and tell us that you really want Nigeria to be good. You are building Nigeria. Only a fool will believe that. But that is the APC thing. They will never change. That is what they have come to do: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And this is how Nigerians will continue to suffer in their hands until people are able to pull themselves together and set aside aboriginal sentiments and wrestle this country out of the hands of that evil association. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news where una go like. Why? Because of una. Nah, I dey here, so don't go away. Don't